The year is 2008. The month is June. It's summer. The sun is shining. Birds are tweeting. Beautiful Colombian spy Natalia Reyes is standing at the border between New York and Buffalo, New York. She looks stunning in her black dress with a silver belt. Her long, luscious brown hair runs down her back as far as her ankles. She takes a deep breath, fixes her red lipstick, smooths her black business suit jacket, and walks through the door into Canada. Now if you're wondering why a beautiful Colombian woman would want to go all the way to Buffalo, well, it's because this is where Natalia's heart lies. Or rather, it's where she thinks her heart lies. See, when you're a super gorgeous woman like Natalia, all you have to do is look pretty and men will just hand you what you want. And for Natalia, what she wants is top secret information that could save or break her country. You see, Natalia works for the Colombian government and her specialty is seducing high-value targets and getting them to divulge classified information. But unlike your average spy who might just be moderately attractive, Natalia isn't just any old agent. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. Literally. This is the reason she gets away with her elaborate schemes and why everyone she meets instantly falls madly in love with her. In fact, even you watching this right now can't help but fall a little bit in love with her as she appears on your screen. But beware, gentlemen, because this lady is dangerous. She's a femme fatale, a black widow who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. So while it may seem like a walk in the park for Natalia, there are still challenges along the way. Like, how does she get close enough to her target to extract the information she needs? Or how does she avoid the ever-watchful eyes of his security team? Well, that's what the rest of the video is for. So make sure to watch till the end to find out how this smoking hot Colombian spy manages to get the upper hand. And without further ado, let's begin our tale. Upon arriving in Buffalo, Natalia checks into the Hyatt Regency Buffalo, located at 200 South Elmwood Avenue. With her stunning good looks, she makes quite an impression on the front desk clerk, who immediately upgrades her room to the presidential suite free of charge. This luxurious accommodation comes complete with a separate bedroom and living room, a fully equipped kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and a private balcony overlooking the city. Of course, for a woman like Natalia, mere comfort won't suffice. She wants luxury and exclusivity. That's why she immediately calls room service and orders the most expensive bottle of vintage champagne. Then she pours the bubbly into 2 glasses, one for her and one for the ghost of Pablo Escobar, the notorious drug lord she's secretly descended from. After taking care of her basic needs, it's time to take care of business. Natalia changes into a tight white dress that hugs every curve of her body before heading downstairs to the lobby. There she hails a cab and gives the driver the address of her next destination, the Albright Knox Art Gallery located at 1285 Elmwood Avenue. Once there, she slips inside unnoticed, blending seamlessly into the crowd of art enthusiasts. Now normally this gallery is closed on Mondays, but for Natalia, rules are made to be broken. Using her feminine wiles, she manages to convince the guard that she is there to meet someone important and gets access to the restricted area. Inside the gallery, Natalia makes her presence known by confidently striding towards the curator's office. As she approaches the door, she can't help but smile to herself. Oh, she's gonna have so much fun tonight. She knocks on the door and when it opens, she steps inside without hesitation. The room is dimly lit with only a single lamp illuminating the large mahogany desk in the center. Behind the desk sits a man. He's tall and handsome with a neatly trimmed beard and piercing blue eyes. His name is Mark Michelli, the very man Natalia has come to see. Mark is an intelligence analyst with the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, and he knows more about the inner workings of the CIA than anyone else. He also happens to be the key to Natalia's mission. But Mark is a private person and doesn't entertain visitors without a proper appointment. However, when he sees who's standing in front of him, he immediately regrets his decision. After all, it's not every day that one comes across such a vision of loveliness. Upon spotting Mark, Natalia flashes him a dazzling smile and says in her thick Colombian accent, "I'm sorry to intrude, Mr. Mitchell, but I couldn't resist the opportunity to meet the most eligible bachelor in Buffalo." Mark, taken aback by her sudden appearance and undeniable charm, can't help but blush. He clears his throat and tries to regain his composure, but Natalia's already making her way towards him, her eyes gleaming with mischief. As she leans over the desk, Mark finds himself captivated not only by her words, but also by the subtle caress of her flowing hair on his arm. "I am honored by your presence, Miss Reyes," he stammers, trying to hide his racing heart. Natalia's smile widens and she sits down on the edge of the desk, straddling Mark's lap. "Call me Nat, darling," she purrs. "And consider yourself lucky. Not many men get the chance to meet someone as exquisite as myself." Mark, completely under her spell, can only nod dumbly. Natalia's gaze locks onto his and she whispers, "I have information that could change everything." Suddenly, the mood shifts and Natalia transforms into a deadly viper. Her voice becomes icy cold and she leans closer to Mark, her lips barely a whisper away from his ear. "Tell me what you know about Project Mayhem, and I promise it will be worth your while," she hisses. Mark, jolted back to reality, realizes he's been trapped by one of the most dangerous women alive. Will he escape her clutches or succumb to her deadly charms? This is the question that keeps you on the edge of your seat as the game continues. But Mark isn't the only one who's in danger. Natalia's every move is being watched by a mysterious shadow lurking in the darkness. He goes by the name of Snake Eyes, and he'll stop at nothing to protect his target, even if it means taking down Natalia herself. Who is Snake Eyes and what is his connection to Mark? How will he fare against such a formidable opponent as Natalia? Find out in the next part of this thrilling tale. At this point, however, we need to catch our breath. So let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty that is Natalia Reyes. She truly is a sight to behold with her stunning looks and captivating charm. You can't help but fall under her spell. But don't be fooled by her gorgeous smile and graceful demeanor. This woman means business and she won't stop until she gets what she wants. So what exactly is her game? Why is she after Mark Mitchell and what does he have to do with Project Mayhem? We'll leave that for the next episode. For now, let us head back to Buffalo and find out how Natalia's web of deceit tightens around Mark Mitchell. Back at the gallery, Mark is struggling with his conscience. On one hand, he has an obligation to his country to keep its secrets safe. On the other hand, he can't deny the allure of Natalia's charms. Seeing his internal struggle, Natalia takes advantage of his vulnerability and begins to weave her web of seduction. She plays hard to get, pretending to be disinterested in Mark before slowly letting him in. She shares intimate details about herself, creating a sense of intimacy between them. All the while, Mark is torn between his duty and his desire for Natalia. But as the night wears on, he succumbs to her charms and reveals classified information about Project Mayhem. Unbeknownst to them, Snake Eyes watches from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He's been assigned to protect Mark at all costs, and he won't hesitate to take action. Just as Natalia is about to make her move, Snake Eyes intervenes. He steps out of the shadows, startling both Mark and Natalia. "Who are you?" she demands, her eyes flashing with anger. Snake Eyes remains calm and composed. "Just someone who's been watching you, Natalia," he replies. "It's time for you to leave." Before Natalia can react, Snake Eyes takes control of the situation. He disarms her, preventing her from causing harm. But Natalia is not one to be taken lightly. She uses her feminine wiles to try and turn the tables on Snake Eyes, but he remains resolute in his mission. With tensions at an all-time high, Snake Eyes overpowers Natalia and prepares to take her down. But just as he's about to make the final move, Mark steps in. He realizes that Natalia, despite her dangerous ways, is still a woman who deserves compassion. In a surprising twist, Mark chooses to spare Natalia's life, much to Snake Eyes' dismay. As the episode draws to a close, Natalia is left defeated and disillusioned. She had come so close to completing her mission, but in the end, she's forced to flee empty-handed. Meanwhile, Mark and Snake Eyes are left to deal with the aftermath of their encounter with Natalia. What will become of their partnership? And how will they prevent Natalia from coming after them again? To find out what happens next, stay tuned for the next episode. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on the events that have unfolded. Natalia Reyes is a force to be reckoned with. Despite her failure in Buffalo, she remains a formidable threat. Her beauty and cunning have proven to be a potent combination, but she's encountered a match in Snake Eyes. His unwavering commitment to his mission and his ability to resist her charms have made him a valuable asset. As the game continues, we can expect more twists and turns in their cat-and-mouse chase. Their paths will undoubtedly cross again, but where and when remains uncertain. One thing is clear, though, the stakes are higher than ever. The fate of nations hangs in the balance, and only one of them will emerge victorious. But before we say goodbye for now, we want to hear from you. What do you think happened to Natalia after she fled Buffalo? Where do you think she'll strike next? And how will Mark and Snake Eyes fare in their future encounters with her? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more exciting updates. Until then, stay safe and keep an eye on the shadows, because you never know when Natalia might strike again.